what I want to do, and I love doing wholesaling. I mean, you can help people, and with wholesaling, we're going to learn how to do tax sales, how to buy properties from there. You're going to learn about owner financing. You're going to learn about marketing. You're going to learn about sales. You're going to learn about how to keep your money, taxes. You're going to learn it all by being a wholesaler, a real estate investor. And it's great, man. And one thing about what makes it more simpler to do today is that we have the internet. We have social media, man. So there are a lot of things that we didn't have advantage before within our community, and a lot of people kept to themselves. We got it now. So there's no excuse to why we're not being all we can be. And yes, it is a paradigm shift. However, what I'm gonna call it is a quantum leap, man. It's a new,
makes sense.
It's a new level, man. I was reading a book with Tim Grover, and people will say they'll call you a closer. However, in the book, he says it's beyond a closer. You want to be a sweeper. You want to be able to handle these situations that everybody goes through, and it doesn't affect your game. So that's what we're calling it. We're calling it the quantum leap. Not a closer, being a sweeper, because you got to be able to grow through all of these pains and take it on the chin. I've been to the doctor 20 times in the past 6 months, bro. I had pneumonia for walking in this dirty-ass house that had black mold all throughout the house. Actually, like a dumbass, I stayed in the house. I didn't have no protective wear, and I got pneumonia from being inside that house that had black mold. Everybody on the call, if you want to be in wholesaling, always make sure that you got a mask on when you're walking in these houses, especially if they're dirty and got all these type of issues. And then as well, I'm asthmatic. I've been like that ever since I was born. So having pneumonia, inflammation of the lungs, and pus in your lungs, and being asthmatic is a narrowing of your arteries. So I had to get a steroid inhaler, a nebulizer. I got prescribed antibiotics. I have a rescue inhaler. When I went to the doctor told me 2 times I could have died if I did not take care of my pneumonia, if I did not get the proper rest, and as well if I don't take my medicine with my asthma, I could have died from those type of complications within the past 6 months. I also wound up breaking my hand, so I had to go to the doctor for breaking my hand. And then as well, I'm still bipolar. I still get help for that. So all of these type of issues were going on behind the scenes. However, I was still closing property, and I took it on the chin and still was able to smile. And even went through a relationship, into one of my relationships with the woman I was dating, and still was able to stay focused on that. So that's one of the things we got to talk about, man. You know, that you got to have that laser beam focus, man, where you're focusing on the few, not the many, and you got to get these distractions out of your life. Most people spend 20 hours a week on the internet, on the internet and watching TV. 20 hours a week. It's like 4 hours a day on the internet, watching TV. 7 times 4. What's that? That's 28. So let's so between 20 to 30 hours. So if you remove these distractions out of there, you will free up 80 to 100 hours a month by just having laser beam focus, putting that energy into your business and scaling it and growing your company now where you can start outsourcing and delegating your tasks, where you can get you an assistant and you can make more money and keep more of your money and being able to invest it. So a lot of us, we talk about active income and passive income. You know what, Brother Shelton, man, I even though I'm going to do some passive real estate investing, but I plan to be an active real estate investor all my life, man.
Yeah.
One of my mentors, Dan Tina, the high performance coach, he gives all of his information free except his seminar, which he charges $20,000. but he removed you from your environment. You have to go to where he's at in Scotland. He talks about being an active investor. He said passive investing makes you lazy. And I started thinking about that. I said, man, damn, that's true, because a lot of people, and I seen one of my family members got disabled, and man, I mean, all they did was around the house all day, man. Mm-hmm. Wound up gaining like 100 pounds. Yeah. You know, so a lot of people, when they don't work, they just become lazy.
They become lazy.
My grandmother's 88 years old, bro, and she said she lost weight. She's in one of the best health conditions that she's been in, and she's still a Section 8 landlord, and she's 88 years old.
She's staying active, man. It's all about activity, man. Same thing about a house, right? If nobody's in that house and no activity moving around that house, and all of a sudden it's just going to start fading and looking crazy, right? So you definitely want to just live the best life that you can possibly live and be the best version of yourself every single day. I did a message about that today on social media. Be the best version of you every day, though, man. And my brother, I'm glad you are doing that. You didn't let your circumstances defeat you or define you. You became a detail-oriented, even with all that going on. So there's really, by you explaining all those things that happen to you, there's no excuse for someone else that doesn't have those level of hindrances. So I think that's what you're saying. There's no excuse. There's no excuse for not succeeding in this thing. There
is no excuse, brother. And I mean, even some of the other stuff, man, I don't even count them, because it wasn't like having 9 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon at 19. It doesn't count with you getting a call out of state with them wanting you to testify because your best friend's brother was a serial killer and wanted you to be there at the trial. So a lot of this stuff I'll write off. There's really not too much pain. There's really not too much you can really say to me that's really going to upset me or throw me off course, because I've been through that all my life. Man, me and my brother would fight, and I had braces. We were boxing, and I had braces. I was boxing front yard with braces, so there's no really pain that I can't feel like I can endure. And I'm still going to start challenging myself. I'm going to start getting on planes. I'm going to give me a passport. Things that I should have already done. Just challenge myself even more. Overcome the bipolarism. You know, it's not, to me, it just helped me be a better person. I'm glad I went through it, because I was able to get over this stuff really, really early and able to stay focused. So it is a mindset, the paradigm shift, the quantum leap. So I would say first it's the paradigm shift, and then after that it's the quantum leap, man. People going to be like, damn, Eugene, you didn't change. You're not even like that. Even though my mindset is still the same, I still don't take no shit. But it's that quantum leap. You know, now we're more professionals. We're professionally trained.
Business,
we're here to help.
Boss.
And I do way better business than everybody that I know. You could call me at 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, I like dealing with you, man. You're really accessible. Yeah. You're really accessible. And you don't, but one thing about it, man, that I like, that fact, I think that's why I told you the other day, though, man, and I'm going to let you go in a little bit too, man, because I know I'm going to be mindful of your time. But what it is, though, man, I told you the other day about that, though, man. When we talked, that I suggested to you that you become a position of authority with these things that you learn and stuff like that, because you have the right attitude. When it comes to this, you really want to help people. Now, you're going to be direct and you're going to be matter of fact of what you say, but you're not going to sound rude and you're not going to come across rude, even though you can be. But you separate the business aspect of it because you've grown, right? You've grown into it, and that's why I suggest you do that, though, man, because the way you explain it, like I said, you break it down to the common denominator, but it's not a bunch of fluff. It's not a bunch of this, but also you don't speak to the individual as if they're dumb for not knowing what they don't know. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that's the thing about it. You're accessible and you're able to have that conversation. A lot of these people that are mentors, honestly, some of them are assholes. I mean, some of them, they're not nice people. They're mentors, but they're not nice people. So to me, that energy don't go with me. I don't deal with people. If you're not, that's just me. I'm not knocking anybody else for being exactly who they are. Knock yourself out and be the best version of you. But me, that energy doesn't flow with me. Because I'm a cool cat. That doesn't really flow with me. My thing is that's the reason why I didn't survive in the military and stuff like that alone. I can't stand people talking at me. I hate that. I can't stand that.
Right.
And so therefore, I don't deal with those people. I've spent money with people, man, on mentorships and little stuff like that. Little stuff. I haven't even dealt with the program. Basically, that's wasting money. I got that information and moved on from there because I didn't like the attitudes. I didn't like the attitudes of the individuals that was coming at me. And I let them know that. I didn't like the attitude. So guess what? I don't have to deal with you. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's the thing about it, that people, if you want to network with this young brother right here. You dig him? Because he understands it from all aspects, and he truly wants to help and wants you to learn. And then again, once he help you to learn, then you can do a joint venture. You guys can work on something together. So y'all are you're not gonna be dealing with a rookie or someone that's trying to get a deal. Like when you call some of these We Buy Houses sign, some of those people are wholesalers. Then they're not the investors, they're not the end buyers. So you want to definitely deal with someone that has a network of investors. So leverage what Eugene knows, leverage his contacts, leverage his investors. Of course, you're gonna split the deal, but guess what? Half of anything is better than a whole zero.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, a fast nickel better than a slow dime, and a fast nickel is better than not getting a dime at all.
That's right. So we'll take that. So that's why I'm encouraging people to deal with you. You know, once I get a deal on a contract that makes sense, you know what I'm sending it to. You know, we've already talked about these things, but I really appreciate what you're doing, though, man. Now, what before I say, we got about a couple of minutes, man. What word of advice, man, would you give to people? What kind of summary of this conversation tonight, man? Because the Cliff Note version of it, if you will, that what you would tell somebody that's trying to get involved in this real estate.
Well, man, all high performers work their ass off, man. They're hard workers. They work 7 days a week. They work. I mean, Amazon, for example, to be considered for a raise and promotion, you have to work 80 hours a week. The most highly successful people make 1,800 cold calls a year. That's basically doing like 200 cold calls a month. Just to summarize, I know 200 a month would be 24, but that's really not a lot. If you're making 100 cold calls a day, that's 700 a week. I mean, that's really 2,800 cold calls. So you got to put in the work, be all you can be, and make them calls, man. It's not about waiting for somebody to call you and doing bandit signs and all of that. Even though it does work, you do make money, but it is against the city ordinances in regarding of doing those bandit signs.
Yeah, it's hit and miss. It's hit and miss with those bandit signs, good people.
Yeah,
You're right
about that.
So they'll put them up, they'll call you. They will call you.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is hit and miss. And you got to put out a lot of them. And like I said, man, it's going against the city ordinance.
Yeah. And so also, if you are just starting off, you got a small marketing budget, right? There's only so much to go. You know, there's not like a place going and say, here, we'll give you this loan. Well, they'll give you some loans and stuff for some stuff, but you have to have a certain credit score. And if you need your credit score improved, then that's why I come into play. But the thing about it, though, man, is that you have so many different levels to get into this thing. And I think maybe that's what discourages some people, because they get information overload, and then it costs a little bit more than what they think it's going to cost. Or they network with the wrong individual, or they go to the wrong seminar, or they buy the wrong package. I think a lot of misinformation is out here, man. And again, get with Eugene. This young brother will not steer you wrong, because he understands what this thing is about, and he has the thick skin to deal with the people and the client. And you pretty much probably can't throw a scenario at him that he hadn't experienced as of yet. And if he hasn't got the answer, I guarantee he will go get it for you and seek it, especially if you guys talking about working together. This whole thing is about partnerships. It's all about effective networking and doing things together in synergy and in alignment, man. And again, my brother, I appreciate you for what you're doing out here in the mix, you know, as consistently, because you've been consistently doing this thing since you got started. I see you on a regular basis. Every time you put a video up, I comment on it. I share it. I put it on the business page, because that's important to me, that other people see that. Other peers, your peers, need to see that you out here being successful. Right? People that maybe saw the mean and the mad Eugene, right? Now they seeing you being out here being productive, and maybe your testimony can help someone else move forward in what they're trying to do. So I appreciate your consistency, my brother.
Yeah, exactly, bro. You know, your attitude determines your latitude. So you wanna stay positive and stay an alpha. Be assertive. You know, everybody I know that are highly successful, high performance, they're hunters. They're the lions.
Yeah,
you know,
hunter be hunted, right?
If the female lion don't hunt and gather the food, then they coming out and they're going to eat. And it's not no else they're going to take, if you get what I'm saying. Yes, so that's how you got to be in regarding of your business. So if you can channel that same energy and put it to business in regarding of not waiting around for doing direct mail and putting out bandit signs, even though they do work.
Right.
Most of them, they're going to pound the pavement. They're knocking on doors. They're making them calls. And calls are the fastest way compared to any other method in regarding to real estate investing.
That's right.
So wholesaling